He's, oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it. And will this be enough? My God, take it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. I am Josh Mabry, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Soder. How we doing?
I'm good.
I know you almost went a counter of your boy there.
I know. It's like I was like it's like because I like CM Punk, but it's like I can't disrespect my guy while I have his T-shirt on by doing
your fandom is very fractured right now on what to do with that.
Well, it's two of my favorite guys. It's I'm torn, but the guy that I wanted to win the match SummerSlam won. We'll get to that. Really good, damn good pay-per-view. We're going to get into, and a lot of interesting stuff that happened, especially on Raw. And I got things to say about some stuff on that I'm like, on when it comes to NXT and Dynamite this week. There's stuff that I was kind of like meh on. So got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but start off here with a couple of news things. Not a whole lot. I really want to save more for the shows, especially the WWE ones not named NXT, because I'm kind of with you on that. There's a couple of things I really didn't really. I'm just like, this was kind of fodder. But anyway, the first thing is we've got some big contracts coming up, and we just really don't know where they're going. The Lucha Bros, and they're a package deal. That they came out and said they're a package deal. So let's start off with the Lucha Bros first. But just not to bury the lead, Lucha Bros, Ricky Starks, and Daniel Garcia. Those four guys, or contracts are coming up pretty soon, within the next month, at least within the month.
The only one that we don't know for certain is how much longer Ricky has. But the word is that the Lucha Bros and Garcia are up within the next month.
Right.
They're really pretty, so their contracts are pretty close to expiring for sure.
So let's just start out with the Lucha Bros. So far what we know, they were supposed to be at All In with Death Triangle. That they're not doing that anymore. At least they're not going to be in the match. And then they've also said that they're a package. So if you want them, they're a package deal. And they also have said that if they do decide to go to WWE, they do not want to go to NXT. They want to be immediately on the main roster. And those are the facts that we know. At least that that's been at least Strong Raw Sap has said it. Multiple people have said those three things for what they're looking to do. But that doesn't rule out that WWE is going to accept those terms. Where do you think they end up?
Well, it doesn't look good that they've been off TV for a while. And they're not scheduled for a match at Wembley. Pac has been solo. He's been trying to get a match on the show. I think it's very possible that they leave. I mean, they've done pretty much everything you can do in AEW. I mean, they've been tag champions. They were trios champions with Pac as Death Triangle. Had fantastic matches, and stuff like that. FedEx got, it wasn't very long, but at least he got a singles run there for a bit with the international title before he unfortunately got hurt. That was when the title was really snake bitten, because it's like Moxie got hurt, and then it's like he got hurt. It was one of those, like, I was like, oh Jesus, the title cursed or what? But at least he got to have a singles belt at least for a little bit. Just too bad it wasn't longer due to injury. And plus, it doesn't seem like tag team wrestling is a priority. Now, that's fair to say. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but it's like, I don't know what's going on with the tag division right now in AEW. It's kind of seems like it's a mess right now, especially when the Bucks haven't defended the titles in months, which I think is really stupid. But we'll try to say that for Dynamite. Now, things are a little bit in flux on WWE side. Of course, it's not perfect. things got a little thin after they split the titles back to specific brands. You got the WWE tag titles and the World Tag Team titles. But there's still pretty good tag teams in WWE. And just thinking about the potential matchups. I mean, Lucha Brothers versus DIY, the Bloodline, Street Profits, the Creed Brothers. I mean,
the Wyatts at this point.
Yeah, the Wyatts. It's like AOP. It's like they could have some like amazing matches with a lot of these teams.
The New Day would still be fun.
Yeah, and plus, if the rumors are true that Motor City Machine Guns are also coming in, because this definitely sounds like that. That's pretty much almost a done deal at this point that they're going to WWE.
MSK.
We'll save that for NXT. I know that I know you're hurting over what happened at the end of NXT. I was thinking of you. I know you love those guys. So I like the idea, especially if the Motor Machine too. That definitely helps. I mean, if Triple H brings in both the Motor City Machine Guns and the Lucha Brothers to boost the tag division, that's a major win. Because then you're going to have bangers with so many combinations. It's not even funny.
Because that's my thought is like right now the two groups that have the tag team, at least the two tag teams that have the tag team titles, weren't really like a tag team. It was still that stupid, let's just put two guys together, even though it makes sense, but they're not truly a tag team, right?
Yeah, and the two big heel factions, the Bloodline and the Judgment Day, both hold the tag team titles on each brand.
Right. Well, but at least they're not just like thrown together. Will they coexist?
Yeah.
Bullshit that we had for like 8 years and like 8 to 15 years. It felt like because Vince McMahon just didn't care about tag teams.
No, he didn't get.
But the Usos and the New Day, you just couldn't resist. I mean, they basically made it to where you had to put them on. Put the titles on them, and they could do. And plus, they had so much good chemistry because what happened when they actually let me take you back to how they utilized tag team, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you back to the feud between the Viking Experience, War Raiders, whatever you want to call them, and the Street Profits. Remember that? Remember that?
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah, where they did the Viking games, that whole skit.
Oh
my God.
Who booked that shit?
Vince.
So let me take you back to how tag teams were. They're still not where me and Justin, I'll speak on behalf of both of us, they're still not where we would like them to be. Yeah. But they're still a lot better than where they were. But if they are going to invest, quote unquote, in the Lucha Brothers and Motor City Machine Guns, they're not going to invest in those two good teams just to keep them off of another promotion. Like they're just Triple H wouldn't do. I don't think Triple H would
Triple
do
H
that.
Doesn't just bring people in just to keep them away from the competition. He wants to bring in people that he feels is going to perform well and bring something to WWE.
Correct.
I mean, that's why they went after Jay Cargill. It's like.
And she still got a little green in her. That's why they came in. They can definitely use her, but they're still protecting her in a way. But with these two guys, and then the Motor City Machine Guns, from Justin and I's perspective, we've been keeping up with the Lucha Bros. Myself, Motor City Machine Guns, way back 15 years ago in the AJ Styles,
been around for a while,
and the AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Them two just going. Those two teams.
I remember them in TNA. I was very impressed with them back in the day.
Yeah.
They've been around the block.
Yeah, and it's not the first time that Alex Shelley's been on WWE television. He was in the Dusty Cup, with crap. I forgot the Japanese wrestler's name.
Kushida. Because he and Kushida teamed for a while. They were called the Time Splitters.
Yeah, the Time Splitters.
He came back for a bit to work with him when Kushida was in NXT.
Right. So, and also too, they're immediately going to have to put the Lucha Brothers with the manager. You just have to, because Penta is arguably the best kept secret, especially him and his brother Ray. They're the best kept secret.
Penta actually speaks very good English. He just doesn't do it very much.
Oh, okay. I thought Penta.
That's right. I've heard one of them speaks very good English. They both
speak English. It was Ray. I thought Ray did. I thought Ray Phoenix did.
I think Ray
Penta doesn't. That's why he always had to have the manager with him at all times.
They would. And also, there's no point in putting them in NXT.
No,
these guys are
neither one of them.
No, these guys go right to the main roster.
Yeah,
I mean, did Jade go to NXT? No, Jade went right to the main roster.
No,
so it's like they had her go down to the Performance Center and helped her get her ready before she made her debut at the Rumble, but she did not spend time performing in NXT because they felt that that was necessary. They wanted her. They're like, no, you are going to go right to the main roster. You're going right to Raw or SmackDown. And I think Triple H would do the same. I don't see him putting more should be and it's like the Motor Machine Guns would not be in NXT. It's like they've been around the block for so long. It's like it's like that would be insane. There's no point. So that's my feelings. I think it's highly likely that they jump.
I think both will be on WWE. So
it's like I said, there's really not. What else is there left for them to do in AEW?
No,
it's like
no.
Unfortunately,
hey, Gift, thanks for joining. I mean,
their masks. Well, they'll sell like Rey Mysterio level. They'll sell like hotcakes.
And then the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, just print it. That tag team is just so fun. As far as that, but the only thing I worry about, the only thing I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, let's say they do go to WWE. Keep the LWO out of it. Keep Phantasma out of it.
Don't make them join the LWO or
don't have them come as Andrade's lackeys. Don't even do that. Just let them do their thing.
Let them do their thing. Let them go in and watch them wrestle. It's like that's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some merch situations that they just didn't capitalize on.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't hear no there.
All right. So what do you want to talk about next? Garcia or Ricky?
Ricky. This is a foregone conclusion.
I think this is a no-brainer.
Because I think Daniel's the one that's we're going to discuss a lot more.
Yeah. This has been talked about for quite a while. Like going all the way back to the beginning of the year. There's been speculation that, especially after Punk left, it didn't seem like there was much to do. They put him in the tag team with Bill. They gave him the tag titles. It's like they gave him something. But then after they lost titles and they split, he hasn't been on TV since. He has not been used. And like Tony's like, oh, I'd love to use it. He's like, oh, really? You're the boss. What do you mean love to use it? You can choose to use him whenever you want. For some reason, it's like, and it's talk about. There's been plenty of stories about what's going on. That they had creative that he wasn't interested in turning it down, and they haven't gone or given him anything. So that's why he's been sitting at home, unfortunately, collecting the paycheck at this point. I mean, he said in interviews he doesn't know why he's not being used. That's probably a diplomatic way. I think he knows exactly what's going on. Yeah. That's like he's just not gonna badmouth Tony while he's under contract still. And plus he's not the guy to do that anyway. If he's gonna leave, he's gonna be respectful. It's like and stuff like that. He's not gonna try to burn any bridges or anything. Because he's talked to it's well known he's very close with Cody. He was at WrestleMania with Dustin Rhodes cheering Cody on when he won the title. He was up in the skybox with Dustin Rhodes. It's like there was a lot of pictures and video that showed he was there. So that shows you how close he is. He's one of the people that was there to cheer Cody on at WrestleMania for his big moment.
Yeah.
And plus also Punk. He's speaking very highly of Punk. About what Punk was doing for him and helping him before he left. So you got two of the biggest names in WWE right now that would be like, yo, Triple H, go get this guy.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Aaron. And yes, Penta and Phoenix were Lucha. That's where I first saw Penta. Him and
thank you. Aaron Turner, the Ring General.
Yeah, of the Ring Generals, go follow them. They just relaunched. They used to be Strong South. They are now the Ring Generals over there with
the Outlaw John Roca and Chris Burns on
Chris Burns.
The Outlaw John Roca's YouTube channel. Go check them out. They just came back.
Okay. Yeah, they're great. Awesome stuff. And but yeah, Penta. I remember that was the first time I realized who Penta was. Went over in Lucha Underground, which their storylines, man, they really. You talk about pushing the envelope. There's some crazy storylines over
Yeah,
there.
they did.
For first learned about Ricochet is Prince Puma.
I love people. Just a quick funny aside. I saw people ask like, "Are you going to be Prince Puma again?" And Ricochet's like, "That's under copyright, dude. I can't be Prince Puma again.
Yeah,
Know what I want to."
Isn't the match the match with Chelsea Green? Isn't that Penta that's floating around the internet again? I think that was. Aaron, you can help us out. I think that was it. The Chelsea Green, the intersex match.
But
I think it was Penta that she won against. Anyway,
back to Ricky real quick. I think Ricky's exactly the kind of person that WWE want. He's got talent in the ring. He's got the mic skills. He's the whole package, and he's young. He would not need to go to. I don't think he would spend time in NXT at all. If so, maybe for just a little bit.
Right.
But he's pretty much. You could put him right on a Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
And plus his association with Cody, that can lead to all kinds of stuff. It's like to play with. It's like same if MGF ever decides to jump ship. I mean, good lord. But with their history and everything. It's the fact that he has not been used for this long and is just sitting there. It feels like Tony just doesn't have it in for him, and it feels like he's just not using him. And wait, and then the contract's going to run out, and then he's going to leave. That's what this is what it screams to me.
It sounds like a Brody King thing with him in WWE, which is like it's Wednesday. You know what that means? That's where it all came out of because they had nothing for him, and he's just like pounding the pavement, and they only kept him around just so he wouldn't jump to AEW. It's kind of the same thing right now with Ricky Starks, is what it feels like. It's just let's just keep him around because he's under contract, but we're not going to do anything with him. Because there's no reason to invest in him because we know where he's going to go.
Yeah, and Tony doesn't want to release him early. It's like if you he doesn't want to keep someone. He just or someone says, "Hey, I don't want to stay." Like Mark Henry and Arn Anderson both left recently, and that was their decision. So I think his jumping to WWE is like at 95% or higher.
Right. Daniel, I'm 50-50 on Daniel at this point.
That one I think that could go either way. I think he's probably leaning towards staying, especially because if he resigns and comes back, he's got a red hot, ready-made feud to go with MJF after what happened. Mm-hmm. That would be a mistake to let him go because he's young and talented. He's got a lot of potential that he hasn't even fulfilled yet. I like what I've seen with him. He's really grown in the last 3 years as an in-ring performer. He got really. It's like the fans really finally got behind him before he was written out storyline wise with the MJF attack. So he, I think, is more likely to stay out of everyone. I think he's the most likely one to stay for sure. The other ones I think are probably going to jump ship.
Yeah. If they do you think Ricky goes to NXT first?
It's possible. I don't know. I think that would depend on if they feel that he needs to spend time in NXT. If he needs more seasoning. I don't think he needs more seasoning. I think he's ready. He's ready for prime time.
His mic work was never.
Oh yeah, his mic work was exceptional.
Yeah, and his in-ring work is great. So I don't see why you wouldn't have him, especially
and plus,
if you.
Cody and Punk would be like, no, put him on the main show now. It's like he's got it.
Yeah, I'm with Aaron. Cody going to put in a word. I mean, it's Cody's boy. I mean, Cody when Cody in WrestleMania 39, I believe Cody he was that was a lot of flack because he was pictured back with backstage.
Oh yeah, he was backstage. Yeah. He got a lot of flack because he was backstage at the Rumble.
Right. Oh, the Rumble. That was it. I knew there was a former one.
I don't know if it was last year's or this year's Rumble.
I thought it was the first year's. It might have been this year's. I don't know. Cody won both of them, so who knows?
Yeah.
On that, but yeah, if Daniel jumps, he's definitely going to NXT. I mean, his mic work needs him.
I think so. He would be the one I would be fine with going NXT for a little bit more seasoning before he'd be on the main draw if he decides to leave. But
Ricky, Lucha's been doing it the Lucha Bros been doing it forever. Yeah. Obviously, Motor City Machine Guns, they could jump around anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him on the main roster. And then Ricky's the own question because I think basically right now I'm leaning Lucha Bros, and Ricky are WWE. I think Daniel stays. So that's where I'm at with that. A couple of things that also came out was WWE did write off. It is official. They did write off Dakota Kai and Seth Rollins. They were saying for injuries. They said Seth Rollins just to give him some time off. Now Meltzer, which take what he says with a grain of salt with him at this point. Meltzer. I think at this point he just talks out of both sides of his mouth and just says stuff to put it out there in the ether to stay relevant sometimes. But he was saying that Seth probably won't make it to Bad Blood, which maybe just for storyline purposes, he really has nothing else going on. So I don't see them doing Bad Blood.
From what the scuttlebutt is that Seth's injury is not very serious. Like he's not it's not like he's been not medically cleared to wrestle. But I think it's just something minor that he's banged up a little bit, and they just want to give him a couple weeks to rest up, because they can have him rest up, and then like after Bash in Berlin, he comes back for the payback on Braun Strowman. We're going to get into that because that segment was So, the Dakota one, as soon as that happened, that's what I was thinking. I was like, is Dakota injured again?
Again, I know, right? It felt like she just came back, even though it just seems like she's always banged up. Yeah, she's.
Hopefully it's not serious.
And if Aaron or Giff or anybody in the comments have heard anything legitimate, we typically don't sit there and throw scuttlebutt really much out on this show. We let couple of things come out before we start just blurting stuff out. But if you know anything of maybe what it could be, if it was a knee injury, which stinks because she just came back from a knee injury and just got cleared.
She was able to get she just finally got back in the ring just before Mania. It sucks.
And they haven't said what it was.
Hopefully it's not something serious. Hopefully it's just, like Seth, it's just something a little minor, and she's going to take just like a handful of weeks to off TV, not for long, because they already advertised that Kyrie and Io are taking on Shayna and Zoe on Raw next week. Winner gets women's tag team title shot.
Winner gets to name the rights to the Zoe, Shayna, and Sonya faction, because we still don't know what their name is. Have they said anything?
Okay. Appreciate that.
Thanks. I haven't heard any. I don't. Has anyone know what their name of their faction is yet?
It's like they don't have a name, which is weird.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like give them a name. It's like,
give them something. Anyway. That's a Raw. That's part of the Raw review. But yeah, and Seth, obviously, like he came back came back just to kind of, I guess, to bridge to the date for the Damian story the Damian story, and then they probably just like, all right, can you come back? Kind of like what Becky did when Rhea got hurt. Like, all right, Becky, we need you to come back real quick, bridge it, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah, it's like, I'm not a fan either. It's like they're not working for me right now. I'll be honest. We'll get more into that later. So Ricky Starks pretty much out the door. Lucha Brothers very likely. Garcia 50-50.
Not 50-50 on it. Last little thing I wanted to bring up before we move on to the show reviews was NXT and AEW are going to square off again. In ratings, which I think it's the first episode in October. The one with it's the one with, is it the one with Randy or is it the one with CM Punk? I think it's the one with Randy. I think that's the one. The second.
Because CM Punk is on the first. Is on the like the. I think I'll double check real quick.
Because it's for some reason they have to go on Tuesday, so they're squaring off again, and that's kind of semi. I think the CM Punk thing is just because the first episode, and it's in Chicago, so I haven't CM Punk on there. But I think Randy is there.
NXT will be in Chicago on Tuesday, October 1st. Punk will be on that one, and then when they're in St. Louis, Orton's in the next week. Orton's going to be on because he's St. Louis. He's from St. Louis. Right. He just threw out the first pitch for a Cardinals game just yesterday. So,
yep, decent form. I did see that. But yeah, and then also too, they're also with the launch in October. They're also going to a couple bigger arenas for the Chicago show and the St. Louis show. Obviously, they're not going to be in the Performance Center. So this is them kind of testing out if they can go on the road. So I think there's some other bigger venues that they're trying out and seeing if they can go on the road. Now, if you have a show on the first night of Great American Bash, you could probably go on the road with that. The second night, you can't. So, we'll get into that later. But basically, it's like if you can, you have to consistently put shows together.
I like this. I like to see them go on the road a little bit more with NXT because they used to do that back in the day in the Black and Gold era. They used to do like house shows. They used to go around the country. I got to see one of those house shows. They were in Buffalo, one of those last house shows, and that house show was in February of like 2020, just before the pandemic happened.
Right.
That was like that was near the end of the Black and Gold era.
But yeah, it's always nice to see how I'm interested to see how much they stack these cards because it's always fun when these two shows square off because they do house shows but only in Florida. They only do house shows in Florida right now. Right.
With NXT.
But yeah, with but AEW, it's always for a wrestling fan, it's always great when these two square off because you know that you're going to get the best shot from both promotions.
Yep.
On giving you the best wrestling show. Whether or not they is beside the point. Most of the time, they're pretty solid when they square off against each other because they have to.
It's gonna be very interesting to see what the ratings will look like, especially for NXT once it moves to CW here in a couple weeks.
Right. All right. Well, that's all I got. So let's move on to a quick recap of SmackDown.
Yeah, this will be very quick.
Very quick, and then we'll move on to SummerSlam review.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, the Golem show before SummerSlam. Show opened with a face-off between Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa on the Bloodline. Words were exchanged, and it led to Solo saying he wanted the title match against Cody at SummerSlam to be under Bloodline rules, and Cody accepted. Then we had Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes in a rematch. Andrade once again picked up the victory in an excellent match. Apollo Crews took on Santos Escobar. Santos picked up the victory of the Phantom Driver despite Baron Corbin trying to help out his new ally. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair are looking to get their tag team titles back. Nick Aldis was out in the ring with Logan Paul and Cleveland dignitaries celebrate, these local boy and all that stuff. And then it cut to LA Knight in the back, who basically stole his special tricked out Prime truck to piss him off. Then we had the women's tag team title match, Alba Fire and Ilya Dawn defending against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. The finish ended up being a DQ when Blair Davenport came out of nowhere to attack Jade Cargill, and she assisted the tag team champions in laying Jade and Bianca out. And then the main event. Before the main event, Tiffany Stratton was given a new special custom Money in the Bank briefcase as a gift from Nia Jax. Then we got the main event, WWE Tag Team Title match, DIY defending against the Bloodline. As many people expected, sadly, the Bloodline, the former Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, picked up the victory and winning the tag team titles. And the Bloodline celebrated to close out the show. So that's all that happened on that episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
I mean, you knew when they said Tonga Loa, they played up his eye patch and stuff. You knew when you put Jacob Fatu in that match, it was signed, sealed, delivered.
I know,
and it stinks that DIY had to be the one to take the loss.
I don't,
especially when they just gave him.
I'm just going to say, I don't like seeing DIY be transitional champion. So it's like, this better lead to something, because I was not happy about it. I understand why they want to do it. They want to make the Bloodline look dominant.
Mm-hmm. The Timu Bloodline, as people are calling them now.
But it sucks that DIY only got to have the titles for like a few weeks and then they drop them.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm
not thrilled about that.
Yeah,
I get why they did it. Not a fan.
No. What I was a fan of was that Andrade Carmelo match.
Yes, let's talk about the positive. Because that match kicked ass.
Woo!
Yeah.
Damn.
I've seen this bounced around, but I'm all for it. Give us like a best of 7 between these guys.
Yeah,
just let them go.
I think I said that last week after their first. I was like,
I think maybe you did.
I was like, give me the best of 7 with these guys, because it's gonna because what else you gonna do with them that's not going to keep doing?
And I know people are worried about Melo losing, but it's like he's still young. There's still time. It's like he's not. It's the. I trust. Hopefully, Triple H is going to lead this to somewhere. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt for now until I see evidence otherwise. If they continue to do this, he's going to get wins back. And working like with someone like a veteran like Andrade helps Carmelo. So
you just need to give Melo a little bit more substance, because him doing the coming out, I'm the first round draft pick, let's fight. I'm the first round draft pick, let's fight. I'm like
the promos he's doing for the barbershop need to do more of that stuff. That gives him that allows him to work the mic, get his character work in.
Yeah, and these little, like, they're more promo vignettes that they're doing seems to put over, and we'll get to it in the Raw. Like, for some reason, I was like, where's this JD been? Like, talking about those, like, promo vignettes that they do.
Yeah, this is what happens when you give people the time to work the mic. I mean, it's like
right.
It's like who need it. It's like
right. So, but yeah, I'm liking what they're doing with that. And then Andrade, it's like, oh, there he is. There's Andrade. There's our guy. But they're great. I mean, this match was awesome, and
that was.
I'm pretty sure they're going to do it again.
I hope so.
With that, the Cody Solo stuff, it was all just as soon as they did the Bloodline rules, whatever.
Yeah, as I was like, I knew that. I was like, okay, that's the perfect excuse now for Roman to show up.
Right.
I saw that coming. Right.
What do you think about the Apollo Santos?
But the match was good. I thought Apollo and Santos had a good match.
Baron Corbin's on television.
I'm kind of digging this pairing. Corbin and Apollo Crews. I think it's starting to work on me.
Mm-hmm. I've been one of the 4 remaining Baron Corbin truthers.
Right.
Because I know he's got it in him. He's a great worker in the ring, and he's fine on the mat.
At least it gives the 2 of them something to do, and
right.
Plus the tag division definitely can use more teams right now.
Right. I keep forgetting how long Apollo has been with the WWE.
Oh yeah, no, he's been. It's like it's been like a decade almost. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the bad. The DQ finish with Blair Davenport out of nowhere for no reason.
That was a lame way to protect.
That was so lame
for doing a job. That it was. But on the other hand, they're definitely doing stuff with Blair Davenport. She's got this thing with Naomi going on, and now she's aligned herself with the tag team champions.
Unholy Union, yeah.
The Unholy Union. I like that because I think Davenport's really talented, and so I'm glad. It's like because I was wondering after she got drafted, she wasn't on TV, but now they're definitely giving her stuff to do, so that's a good thing. Didn't like the finish, but I'm intrigued to see where her aligning with the Unholy Union goes.
I just need the deck to stack up. I'm just waiting for. I just want Jade. You just know that Jade's not ready yet.
People are waiting for the Jade Bianca split to happen, and then they have them feud.
The reason is I don't think they know that Jade's ready yet to do that.
I don't think she's maybe yet either. Who knows?
That's why I think they're just kind of holding back a little bit.
Yeah,
because that's where it's going. Is Bianca versus Jade. That's what we've all wanted since the Rumble, where they faced off against each other. And then if they hold off long enough, then we'll get Jordynne Grace, and then we'll really have a great time come January. Because even Jordynne Grace came out and said, I would love to have a match with Jade Cargill. And I was like, and I want Big E to call the match for obvious reasons.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, this is a okay go home show. Again, for some reason, Triple H's go home shows, they're already in the dugout. Yeah,
this was like a throwaway. It's like I felt like if I hadn't watched the show, I wouldn't have really missed much. I could have been just read the recaps and be like, okay, yeah, no, I got
this was a Sparks note. The only thing was the Andrade Carmelo Hayes match.
That was the highlight of the show.
That was the highlight of the show. All right, let's move on to SummerSlam.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here's a recap what happened at WWE SummerSlam 2024 from Cleveland, Brown Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio. Triple H kicked off the show and introduced Jelly Roll, who opened it with his song Liar, which is the official song for the show. Miz was serving as the host, of course, being for Cleveland. We opened with the Women's World title match, Liv Morgan defending against Rhea Ripley. The finish came when Dominic stopped Rhea from trying to use a chair on Liv, saying she can't win the title that way. He then distracted the referee and slid the chair into the ring, allowing Liv Morgan to hit Oblivion on Rhea into the chair, and that allowed her to pin Rhea and retain the championship. Dominic was smirking, and then he kissed Liv to reveal that he had done it on purpose and that he had stabbed Rhea in the back and chosen Liv instead. Then we had Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn defending against Braun Breaker. This match only went 5 minutes, and Braun Breaker picked up the victory to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Then we had the United States title match as Logan Paul defending against LA Knight. Fans are hot for LA Knight. Good back and forth match. Logan tried to cheat using brass knucks, but Knight was able to recover, dodge the buckshot lariat, and hit Logan with the BFT to pick up the victory and finally have some gold in his race, and he's the new United States champion. Then we had the the WWE Women's Championship match as Bayley defended against Nia Jax. Cool spot where Bayley actually powerbombed Nia out of the corner, woke the crowd up. Tiffany Stratton came down looking like she was going to cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase. Bayley stopped her. That allowed Nia to attack, gain the upper hand again. 2 power bombs and 2 annihilators later, Nia Jax became the new WWE Women's Champion. Then we got the highly anticipated CM Punk vs. Drew McIntyre match with Seth Rollins, special guest referee. Lots of storyline stuff going on in this match. At one point, Punk got the bracelet back, but he dropped it, and Seth Rollins picked it up. Punk saw that and lost his cool, attacked Seth, gave him the GTS. That allowed Drew to recover, hit Punk with a low blow, followed by a Claymore, and Seth recovered it quickly enough to reluctantly hit the 3 count to give Drew McIntyre the victory. Then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match, Damian Priest defending against Gunther. Really good stuff in this match. Finn Balor came out looking like he was there to support and cheer on Priest. Priest looked like he had the match won, hit the South Heaven choke slam, but when the ref wasn't looking, Finn Balor put Gunther's foot on the ropes to help him. Priest saw the replay and was pissed at the betrayal, tried to go after Finn Balor, and that gave Gunther the advantage he needed. Hit a powerbomb, put him to sleep, and Priest passed out in the sleeper, giving Gunther the victory, and he is now the new World Heavyweight Champion. There was a whole bit with Miz and R-Truth and Jelly Roll taking it to A-Town down. Jelly Roll got to deliver some choke slams. Tilted time. And then we had the main event, WWE Championship match under Bloodline rules. Cody Rhodes defending against Solo Sikoa. Cody had a big long entrance, including running into Arn Anderson in the back and told him don't worry, that he got some backup coming from him against the Bloodline. Standard match for a while, and then the interference came. The Tongans came out to attack, try to help Solo win. That led to Kevin Owens and Randy Orton returning. They fought them off and into the crowd to take them out of the match. Jacob Fatu came out and tried to help Solo win the match, including a spot where he splashed Cody through the table again. Looked like he hurt his knee. We don't know if it was real or legit. That kind of took him out of it. They fought back into the ring, and that led to finally the return of the real Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Came out to a massive reaction. He went down to the ring, attacked Solo, gave him Superman punch and a spear. Stared him and Cody had to stare down, but he gave him a little bit of nod of respect and left. And Cody finished off Solo with a crossroads to pick up the victory and remain WWE champion as he and Roman exchanged looks and Solo had a complete meltdown at ringside over the return and interference of Roman Reigns. So that's all that happened on this year's edition of WWE SummerSlam.
Oh boy, so much to talk about.
So much. One thing I'll say, just an overview. This was, as far as, this is the most psychologically driven PLE pay-per-view, more than the technician side of a wrestling show. So were the matches still good and solid? Yes, but it's more of the psychology and the storyline driven stuff, and how that took face and made matches more of the story and stuff, and you were still ingrained in it, but it wasn't because of, like, if you want to go for like the cool like spots and stuff like that, if you want to talk about that, then LA Knight and Logan Paul was the best like in-ring match of the night, in my opinion. I don't think it was the best match because there wasn't as much else going on with it. To me, you could talk about the Gunther Damian Priest with Finn and him getting sidetracked by that and him fighting out and them making Damian something. You can go into the back and forth of CM Punk and a bracelet, how that drove him mad. With all of that, you can go into that like that whole thing was just so built into that. You can go into the Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley match of Dom Mysterio and what's going on, and like you got why he pulled the chair away to tell her that's not how you win it, but actually the whole time he was still screwing her. It's kind of what we thought, and so you had that, like, and then you had like all those matches, and I was entertained throughout, but it wasn't because, man, this match is just really good. Like the Andrade Carmelo Hayes match. Like, that was an excellent match. But it was more on the technical side of it. These are all so psychologically brilliant matches because of the storylines leading up to them. If you just turned on this show and didn't know what was going on, you thought it was a C show. Most of the matches. But that's not us. So therefore, this show was up there, definitely up there with it. That's my overall thoughts on it, and then we can kind of go match by match. But your overall thoughts on that?
Overall, I thought this was a very good show. Just some minor quibbles here and there. I didn't think there was a bad match. So even though the Sami Zayn and Braun match was only like 5 minutes,
they said they cut that short.
They apparently got cut short for time, apparently. But even though that was 5 minutes, it served its purpose. Braun won. And actually, I think it worked better that it was short because it showed that Braun learned his lessons from Money in the Bank and was going for the kill, and it just overpowered Sami. So that's fine. There was not a bad match on the show. Some matches definitely better. Actually, I think the best like in-ring match was Gunther Damian Priest. I thought that match was
that was my other one. Is that Gunther and
LA Knight and Logan Paul had a really good match. I thought as well. But like I thought like wrestling wise, like Damian Priest and Gunther, like they beat the fuck out of each other. It's like I loved it. You usually see people who go against Gunther get beat red chest from all the chops. Damian Priest fought back so hard he made Gunther's chest bleed, and I went, "Holy shit!" That's why I was like, "Okay, now this match is awesome." And it's like main event. It's got its ups and downs. So, we'll get to that when we get to it, but. Overall, I thought this was a really good pay-per-view. This is one of the best ones of the year for WWE. I thought overall, very entertaining. Was never bored. Although at times I felt like they spent a little too much time in between matches, kind of like just wasting time. A little bit too much. That could have given some of the matches maybe a little more time. But other than that, thumbs up show for sure.
Yeah, you have a 3-hour pre-show and you still have the Awesome Truth and Jelly Roll do something. It's like with A-Town Down Under, but you had to. I understand why they put them there because you had to have a relief between the two.
Yeah,
you just had to do. You can't go straight from that to the bloodline.
They had to Solo. Kill some time in between Gunther Priest and Cody Solo, just give the fans a little bit of breathing room.
The question I would say. But the Finn stuff was so good. I mean, it's kind of crazy that the Judgment Day, we've been waiting for them to finally take that next step. And then when they did, it carried over so well to Raw. But these last couple months, Damian Priest is there.
He stepped up.
There.
Yep, he's there. And he's really over now. Yeah, I liked how that match turned out. One of my few other quibbles overall was I felt that there was a little bit too much interference in the majority of the matches tonight, but
it served.
For the most part, they made sense storyline wise. Like Dom, I was expecting Dom to do something to stab Rhea in the back, and that happened. Wasn't sure. I thought Gunther and Priest was going to be clean, and then Finn would turn on him afterwards. I was not expecting Finn to screw him over during the match to cost him the title. That was a bit of a surprise. But as soon as he came out there, I was just like, oh, okay, it's the heel turn is here. He's gonna. It's like I was like, Gunther's definitely winning now because he's gonna turn on Damian.
And I'd rather that because then it just totally puts over that Gunther's just way better than Damian, rather than it took someone and him getting distracted by Finn to that
gives Priest an eventual rematch after he's done with
right. So you're not hurting him by just going over clean and then Finn just turning on him, because that just kind of doesn't bury Damian, but he's on a much more uphill climb.
Yeah.
If they didn't do it that way, and so I'm with you. Like, I would have loved. The thing is, we knew what was going to happen going into the show. We knew Dom was probably going to turn on Rhea. We knew Finn was probably going to turn on. We knew Rowan was going to come back and help Cody win.
Yep.
All these things, and we figured. I mean, we kind of called it. I think we went pretty much at it at 1,000 on this.
Yeah. Now the other positive thing that I will say is that all the winners of the matches were the winners that I predicted and that I thought should win, and they did win.
Right.
It would have been nice to see Bayley the title, but I felt like, they're going to put the belt on Nia. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But Liv needed to win the match, keep the feud going. That whole finish worked out great. Love the reaction from commentary. They did a great job. I love McAfee hesitating to swear, but remembering, oh, wait a minute, we're not on broadcast TV. It's like I can swear.
Right.
Braun and Sammy got the job done. Braun's got the title. Great. Logan Paul and LA had a great match. Right outcome. LA Knight finally's got a belt on him. About damn time. Long overdue. Happy for him. That was the right outcome. Bayley and Nyla, that was the one where the crowd was dead for a while. They only came alive when she did the spot where she powerbombed her out of the corner, which was really amazing. And that woke the crowd up. Wasn't surprised that Tiffany teased a cash in, but it didn't happen, and that helped Nia win the match. They did make Bayley look strong though. Bayley kicked out of one Annihilator, which really surprised me. So basically, Nia had to literally kill her in order to win the match. 2 power bombs and then 2 Annihilators to put her away. That makes Bayley look good in defeat. Like Nia had to really just destroy her in order to put her down.
Plus, Bayley's at that level where even if she goes over clean, it's never going to hurt her. It's Bayley. Yeah. Is there certain things of like, oh, Charlotte Flair lost clean. It's still Charlotte Flair. It's still Seth Rollins. It's still Randy Orton. It's just they're at that level where it's just like, that's why I like we'll get into it on Raw, but that's why it's like you're not ruining their momentum because there's no other, they can't lose it. They've earned it at that point. She's one of the greatest to ever do it. So anytime Bayley's in the match, you're like, it wasn't. Yeah. Now, granted, when she came back with Damage Control, felt like she couldn't find a break ever, and then they finally got that really nice. She won the Rumble, and she got that really great feud with Io, and that she to me had either the best or the second best match in WrestleMania. And then unfortunately, they just couldn't find anything for her that made us.
Io Bayley was one of the best matches on night 2.
That's what I'm saying. I thought she was either the best. Those two were either the best or the second best match of all WrestleMania, not just night 1 or night 2. I thought they were up there at least.
Oh, they had one of the best matches for sure.
Yeah. With that, but I loved this CM Punk Drew Seth was so fun. It was so fun.
This match was like chef's kiss. I know some people I saw some people complain that it's overbooked. No, I thought it was booked perfectly.
It was Shakespearean to me.
The storytelling in this match was superb. I felt the hatred. The fans were amped to this. I like that Seth held off the start of the match so that the fans could really get amped up that this was finally happening, that Punk and McIntyre are finally going to get their hands on each other in the ring. And as soon as the bell rang, they were like, I was like, yes, let's go. And all the little things, them jaw jacking. I love the tease of the SummerSlam 97 finish where Seth almost hit CM Punk with the chair by mistake. Although it was a little bit much. Cole said shades of 97. I thought I was like, okay, yeah, yes, we know what you're referencing, and I felt that was coming, especially when Punk had the Bret Hart colors on. I was like, oh, they're definitely going to do some like SummerSlam '97 illusions in this.
I just posted over on the Discord the little over 6 minute of behind the scenes with Punk at SummerSlam. He literally sitting there right before he's about to go out. He goes, "Yeah, I've got the Bret Hart colors on to pay homage to the SummerSlam '97." So they even like you called that from way back when. You're like, "Oh, this has SummerSlam '97 written all over it." And then as we kept going, we're like, they're literally doing the SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's like they teased. I like that they teased the SummerSlam '97 finish, but it didn't happen. I thought that was a nice little fake out. I know it's getting a little silly. People are like, "Why is he so obsessed? It's just a bracelet." It's like, yeah, I kind of get that, but it's what it represents. That is what's driving Punk. And I like that how obsessed it was. Like he put the Anaconda Vice on Drew, and then he saw the bracelet, like it was like the one ring in Lord of the Rings. It was like, my precious, I must have it. It's like,
yeah.
As soon as I saw Seth pick it up, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw him do that, it was a really quick thing. It's like the bracelet was, he picked it up and just put it on. I was like, uh-oh. And then it's like Punk went to that GTS on McIntyre, and he looked over and saw the bracelet, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then it's like it happened. I also love that it's always not about me, but it's definitely never not about you.
Right.
And
apparently about that, the bracelet, some girl tweeted out, and with her picture at a meet and greet with CM Punk, apparently she was the one that made the bracelet and gave it to him at a meet and greet.
It was made by fan for him.
And she said some type of joke of like, so should I get writing credits because I'm the one that made the bracelet?
Right. Or like royalties or something like that.
Should I like get royalties or something? Because so you're telling me that my bracelet helped a 7th month feud that captivated SummerSlam?
No, and it just like Seth being lax with the rules, not doing the count out, just sitting there while they were beating
Seth's stuff was great. There was a cut up of it and he was just like, when he rang the bell and he like stood and he saw them coming at you, he goes, oh damn it, and he like got out of the way. And then there was obviously him sitting on the ring ropes, whatever. And then there's one time he's like, hey, what I don't care.
It's like, and the finish was the right finish. Drew needed to win this match because Punk has had the upper hand for the last couple months with all the screw jobs he's done on him. So Drew needed a win here to get some payback, and it keeps the feud going for a little bit longer because it's going to Bad Blood. I guarantee it's Hell in the Cell is pretty much guaranteed lock at this point for these two.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. Drew was able to win because Punk lost his cool and made a mistake, and it cost him. And I also liked the end of the match was another shade to 97 because even though he just ate a GTS from Punk, Seth still hesitated to hit the 3 count because he's like, it's like he hesitated for a little, like just like Shawn Michaels hesitated. It's like damn it, I gotta do it.
Yeah,
it's like just fantastic stuff. My second that and Gunther Priest match made the night for me. Those 2 matches back to back. It's like they gave me everything I wanted.
And I was just about damn time they put the belt on LA Knight.
Yes.
And did you just see where Logan Paul is suing him, like quote unquote suing him for stealing his car?
We'll see how Nia does champion, but I think Braun getting the title, that's great for him. LA Knight, long overdue. Gunther, all hail the ring general. About damn time that he's a world champion. Now the main event. Okay. I get why they wanted to do the bloodline rules, make it easier to justify Roman coming out and doing what he did. And I did love Arn Anderson showing up. That was an awesome surprise. That made me mark out. I was like, it's double 8. It's like I love Arn Anderson to death.
Pharaoh's last appearance, which a lot of people are like, oh, so that means he's going back to AEW? Like, is that where Pharaoh's going?
Yeah. And just like everybody else said, I was thinking, wait a minute, why didn't he slip him a Glock?
Yeah.
There's bloodline rules. Might as well give him a Glock.
You figured he like show like some like just if this was the Vince McMahon era, you'd have. Well, he's not clever enough, but this was like if Vince McMahon was still in with the like for the product placement just beaten over the head with it, he would have been like, remember, you always got to keep it. Like shows him like in Call of Duty, like some cheesy ass crap that would make us roll our eyes with it. So, but no, that was great there. But yeah, keep going.
That was a nice surprise. The entrance was a little bit long, but I love the entrance part. I think one thing that hurt the main event, I didn't think it was a bad match. It ended up being fine. It was entertaining for the most part. But the problem was because the fans knew, number one, it was Bloodline rules. Number two, that Roman was going to be showing up. They weren't really into the match. It's like Cody and Solo were having a really nice match, but the crowd was mostly silent because they were waiting for the shenanigans to happen.
And me too. I fell victim to it because I'm sitting there just like, sometimes you're like waiting.
Yeah,
for
I'm like, all right, how long before Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out? It's like I was literally looking at my watch. I'm like, okay, how long is this going to go before the interference shenanigans start?
And I was still doing that for WrestleMania Night 2 main event with Cody and Roman. We're all like waiting for all the stuff to start happening.
But at least that the fans were still hot for that match even before the interference stuff happened.
Because it's Cody Roman.
Yeah, it was Cody Roman. Now the problem is that they don't. It's like they hate Solo, but they don't buy him as a championship level.
And I was going to say that it's just
Solo's got the heat, but they don't buy him as a threat to take the top.
You shouldn't have had him been getting squashed so many times after he beat John Cena.
Yeah, it's like he was in Jobberville up right up to WrestleMania 40. It's like it's like,
and Jacob Fatu is exactly what the internet was saying.
Yeah,
people love Jacob Fatu.
He's a beast.
He's a beast because they're booking him like a beast. They're booking him like they should have done Solo for the past year.
He's not really injured, but it made sense that they would have him be injured so that take him out of the match because you don't want him and Roman facing off right now. You don't want that to happen. Because that would make Jacob Fatu look weak if Roman had what goes through him like he's nothing and then takes Solo out. That would have been a huge mistake. Hopefully he's not really legit hurt and they're just playing it up. Because I was wondering, because I was like, oh my God, he's either selling this really well or he's legit hurt. And I can't tell. Because he could not. He was like trying to stand up and he couldn't. But it makes sense that they would do that to take him out of the match because I knew Randy Orton and KO were going to show up. They showed up. They took care of Tama and Tonga. They took them out of the match. Was expecting that. Made sense. But I was wondering like, okay, who's going to counter Jacob Fatu? And the answer was nobody because they wrote it that he messed himself up a little bit. And so therefore he couldn't stop Roman from coming in and taking Solo out. Now, I was worried about the finish that Roman interfering to help Cody. But the more I think about it, the more I'm okay with it because of the storyline reasoning and where this could lead storyline-wise for a couple of different things. Number one, Cody said at the press conference, I owe him one now. So it's like, there's that. Number two, people are like, why would he help Cody? It's not about Cody. It's about Solo. It's about the family. It's about the Solo. Solo is trying to usurp his spot. He's been talking shit about him. This was about Roman putting him in his fucking place. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm the real tribal chief, and I'm back now. It's like you're on the clock now. And he did that to teach him a lesson. And also, I think the way that they were looking at each other, Roman gave him a nod. They may not be friends. They may not like each other, but there's respect there because Cody, despite everything Roman has ever said to him, you got to remember in the lead up to WrestleMania, he was still respectful. He still respected Roman, even though despite what Roman and The Rock did to him, and Roman has to respect that Cody was able to beat him. He ended his incredible championship reign, and so he may not be. He may not personally care for Cody, but he has respect for him, and you could see that it's like he had a little bit of like, gave him a little bit of nod, and And because like you could tell, even Cody was like surprised that he helped him. He's like, and he was like, I love that. This is why I love Cody. When Cody was pinning Solo to win the match, he was staring right at Roman.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes were locked right at Roman, like because it's like he's like, oh, it's like, okay, I did not expect you to do this.
It's like Kevin. It was the same. It was the same look that Kevin Owens had when Triple H pedigreed Seth Rollins to help him win the Universal title. He was just like, really? Okay. And then he did the same thing. Also, no one said it on and they did the whole Hulk Hogan, whose side is he on, when he was coming down the ring.
Yeah.
Shout out to that.
But I was like, that's not necessary. He's going to destroy Solo, and that's what exactly.
Right.
Now, the other thing that this can help with, this will justify The Rock turning on Roman and setting up Rock Roman. Because Rock could be like, you sided with Cody Rhodes over your own flesh and blood. That guy, you helped him beat a member of our family when they were trying to win the title back for our family. It's like you've betrayed the family.
He's gonna call him a crybaby bitch.
Yeah, and it's like that will be the perfect justification for The Rock to turn on Roman and set up Rock Roman down the line.
So then at WrestleMania we get Cody, Randy, and Rock Roman that we've wanted. That they could have done Rock Roman at WrestleMania 4 like they wanted to, if they just would have given Cody the championship at WrestleMania 39, because it didn't need to be. But I mean, hindsight, yes, Cody winning at WrestleMania 40 was still great.
You know, they could reveal later that Rock has been behind Solo the entire time because he felt that Roman showed that weakness by losing at WrestleMania despite everything, which is what Solo said. He goes like, you weren't. We did everything good to help you, and you still lost. It's like you're weak. And so then this will be like the nail in him helping Cody beat Solo would be like the nail in the coffin for The Rock. I'm like, you fucking traitor. You've betrayed the family. It's like you're done.
And I think if the way Raw went is anything like I think SmackDown's going to go, that's where we see Hikuleo/Tala Tonga or anything like that, because then it brings out they have more numbers. So it becomes a numbers game because Tonga Loa, I think at this point, Tonga Loa, I look forward to his botches more than an actual match that he might put together. He couldn't even get him into the ring post correctly. Randy only had one eye. But
the botched low blow was my favorite at Money in the Bank. Was the botched low blow where he had to do it twice.
Yeah, and then there was one where Kevin Owens was like beating him away.
He got his head knocked right into the freaking announce desk, so he may have been he got knocked a little.
But still, he couldn't line up Cody correctly to the ring post. He had to like gradually get it there, and then when Kevin Owens is like beating him away, he like fell into someone's lap in the ringside. Like I'm just like, you know what? At this point, Tonga Loa, botch everything. It's actually more entertaining than you just being a typical wrestler. With that,
but
so
yes,
War Games is going to be great.
Bloodline Civil War and War Games is going to be fucking awesome. Guaranteed.
They're already kind of linking the Sammy Jey Uso stuff.
Yep, Sammy and Jay are coming together. They're really setting up things well where, because it's not going to be easy. Roman's going to have to really prove things have changed for Jay and Sammy to team up with him and Jimmy against the new bloodline in War Games. So that's going to be very to see what happens. The other thing that surprised me is that Jimmy and Jay had nothing to do with this match, especially Jimmy.
Nothing. And Jimmy was pictured there, I thought.
He was not there at all.
Oh,
he was not there at all. But that would surprise me. I thought he was going to show up to help.
He will tomorrow.
I think they're saving him for SmackDown this week. I think they're saving him coming back to side with Roman if not this week, but soon.
Yeah, this week I just because of how good. Again, we'll get to it here in a second. How good Raw was with all of the typical Raw after Mania shit that we got on this Raw. I don't think Triple H is going to put everything into one Raw basket. I think he will, with Roman being there. You've got to pull out all the stops. I mean,
this is huge. Roman's going to be on it's going to be on SmackDown. He's going to probably explain why he chose to come back now, why he attacked Solo and all that stuff. And I also love that Solo was having a complete meltdown that you could hear on camera. He was literally screaming and saying I think he was saying like, Roman, you're dead, like you're a dead man or something like that. It's like he was vowing that he was going to make Roman pay for what he just did. So, oh boy, Roman's gonna have his hands full. Roman better have some backup because he's going to have his hands full on SmackDown.
It's a little bit of uphill climb, but if you can do what you did with Damian Priest with Solo Sikoa, that's my always thing is like I don't see how they can make Solo something. I'm like it's there, guys. It's there. We've known it's there.
He's great. He's an excellent wrestler in the ring.
Excellent wrestler. His personality and stuff is definitely coming out.
Into him as a threat.
It's just we're just trying to get over the fact that you squashed John Cena and then did nothing for a year.
Yeah,
that's the problem, and it has nothing to do with Solo. It has everything to do with the booking.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
So,
but the reaction for Roman was no surprise. Massive pop. They were happy to see him.
They just need to this next episode. They need to beat the shit out of Roman.
Oh, they are.
To make sense.
He's good. They're gonna wreck him, especially if Jacob Fatu is not hurt. Jacob Fatu is gonna do all kinds of stuff to him, like what they did with Cody. Like he's right now he's outnumbered. It's like even if Jimmy is there, it's still they're still going to be outnumbered. That's why eventually he's got to try to get Jay and Sammy to come back and help. And
I just never thought.
I'm very interested to see how he's going to pull that off because that's not going to be easy. They're not going to be like, yeah, okay, no, we'll help you. They're like, after everything you did to us, why should we help you?
Right. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying, my overall view of this show, which was great, but it was so storyline driven. But honestly, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted to get out of it. Yeah. And there was 4 titles. Now, I will say this. Going forward, Triple H, and here's one of the little things that with him taking over is don't always have title exchanges done on these 2 primary shows, like a Royal Rumble or, like one of the bigger shows. You can still have title changes and other PLEs.
I was surprised we had this many title changes. It's like,
well, we were thinking we were going to have
it's not a bad thing because the people who needed to win these titles needed to win. It's like,
right.
Especially Gunther and LA Knight. Gunther and LA Knight, it's like they needed those wins.
Well, LA definitely needed.
Especially LA Knight. LA Knight was the number 1 person who needed that title win
because he lost. Well, me and you never gave up on him, but like there was a couple times where a lot of the outside scuttlebutt was like, "Is it ever going to happen?" It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing with Damian Priest's cash in. Like that whole with him with the briefcase. Like how many matches did he lose? And we're just like, "Oh my god!" And then we finally got the title. We're like, "Okay, that's great." What are you going to do with it?
Like
and now we have Damian Priest.
You could hear it in the fans' reactions. The fans were like, "Yes, finally!" When,
and I mean, on the Discord, I was like, "It's about damn time I put the LeBron James gif on there," because I was just like, "Yes, yeah." So, but overall, I mean, everything was pretty predictable. I think we batted 1,000 on our predictions.
I think we did. I think we called every match.
Like we were like we would want Bayley to win, but Nia makes more sense.
Yeah, it's like that was the only one I was like my heart wants Bayley, but my head is telling me Nia.
Yeah. Braun definitely needed to win. Also, shout out the Steiner brothers were in the crowd. I did see a video of that.
Yep.
They were in the crowd to see.
Braun.
Did
you see the whole Legend Suite? They were there up there in the skybox. Oh yeah, Kevin Nash, Sean Waltman, DDP was up there with them, and it's like a couple others. So they called it the Legend Suite. And Cody was talking about the presser that they sent out to let the talent know which legends are going to be there and everything so that, they could go say hi.
And I love that. The fact that WWE now is, I mean, I don't know how they were. When,
that Kevin Nash and X-Pac had to love, David Priest's homage to Scott Hall with the Razor's Edge.
Yeah. And, I'm not going to spoil the Scott Hall stuff with Damian, but Damian, Scott Hall and Undertaker were his 2 favorites growing up, so that's why he always gave homage to Scott, and he'll go into those 2, not a whole lot, but he still will go into Scott and Undertaker in the thing.
Yeah, so it was nice that the Steiner brothers were there to watch Braun when they were kind of title. That was great.
Yeah. So overall,
very excellent SummerSlam. Well, this is one of the best SummerSlams in years. To be honest, one of the best ones they've had.
SummerSlam has lacked here in the past for a while.
It has. It's been lacking for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, you had that whole a Becky squashing Bianca for no freaking reason. Mm-hmm. You had Roman and Brock Lesnar for like 13 years straight. And he's just like, come on. Do you think Cody is a better feud with Roman than it was for Brock at this point? Do you think Cody is Roman's, like, that we're going to do this forever adversary, and it has more story to it?
We'll see.
I don't know. To me, that's Brock and Cody right now are the two biggest adversaries to Roman.
The last good thing that I felt happened at SummerSlam was the debut of Damage Control after Becky and Bianca had their match the 1 year after she squashed Bianca and went heel to take the title from her.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to oh God. Let's just move on to Raw.
Yeah, this.
Oh my God. We're gonna. All right, guys. We might take 2 seconds on NXT and AEW because we're gonna spend a lot of time on this show.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Follow-up from SummerSlam. Show opened with the new World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, introduced by the returning Ludwig Kaiser. Cut a promo, running about how he's going to dominate. And if you thought his Intercontinental Championship run was amazing, you ain't seen nothing yet with what he's going to do with the world title. And all of a sudden, Randy Orton's music hit, and he came out and confronted Gunther. He's here because, as he reminded people in their King of the Ring final match, there was some controversy where his shoulders did not work completely pinned to the mat. And he said that Triple H said that he could have a rematch, and he's cashing in that rematch now and challenges Gunther to a title match at Bash in Berlin, and Gunther accepts. Then we had Sheamus taking on Ludwig Kaiser. Pete Dunne came out, tried to attack Sheamus and interfere, but he was able to avoid that and hit Kaiser with the brogue kick to pick up the victory. Damian Priest came out all pissed off, called out Finn Balor to come out for stabbing him in the back at the pay-per-view, costing him the title. Time for this, said that he was the one who brought this on himself. Judgment Day was not supposed to have leaders, but once he became world champion, he started throwing his weight around and went back on his word. And revealed that he wasn't going to fight him right now. He's going to send JD to attack him, and revealed the new Judgment Day lineup, which is now which is him, JD McDonough, Carlito, Dominic, and Liv Morgan. Bronson Reed went to Adam Pearce, pissed off he didn't have a match, while Sheamus, who he beat last week, did. And Reed said that he was going to go take matters into his own hands. More on that later. Then we had Lyra Valkyrie taking on Shayna Baszler. Short match. The heels attacked Lyra before she could beat Shayna for a DQ. And then Damage Control ran down to attack. CM Punk came out to cut a promo saying that he's not upset they lost Drew McIntyre, and that things are not over between him, and called him out. Seth Rollins came out wanting to fight after what he did to him at the pay-per-view, and Punk was ready to oblige, but before they could throw down, Drew McIntyre came out through the crowd, taunting CM Punk with the bracelet. Eventually, Punk chased after him, and while Seth was watching this, Bronson Reed came out of nowhere, blindsided Seth Rollins, attacked him, and then laid him out with not one, not two, but 6 straight tsunami finishers off the top rope. Crowd went ballistic. Commentary went ballistic. And he left Seth laying, coughing up blood in the ring. The House of Pain took on New Day. New Day picked up the victory. Final Testament was beating them down afterwards when Odyssey Jones came out to assist, including a sidewalk slam of both members of AOP in a great spot that made the crowd go crazy. Also, Truth took on A-Town Down Under. The heels picked up the victory. Bret Baker cut a promo about winning the Intercontinental Championship and saying that no one's going to be taking it from him anytime soon. Then we had Damian Priest taking on JD McDonough. Eventually, Finn Balor ran in and attacked Priest for the DQ. The new Judgment Day started to beat down when Rhea Ripley came out to assist her friend, going after Liv Morgan and Dominic in the process, but they all were able to escape. The the two of them beat the hell out of JD McDonagh, laid him out to the fans' delight. Io Sky took on Sonya Deville in a one-on-one match. Io picked up the victory. Sami Zayn was talking to Ilya Dragunov, and James the Bag revealed that he's going to get a rematch against Braun Breaker next week. Then we had the main event. Chad Gable and the Creed Brothers, who he's dubbed American Made, taking on the Wyatt Six in their in-ring debut. Fans loved this, and the Wyatt Six picked up the victory and stood tall to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
That's how you do a after Raw from a major pay-per-view show. Holy shit.
I put it on the Discord. You know, the Raw after Mania was like, fine. This Triple H era, all right, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do the Raw after SummerSlam. That's going to be my bread and butter. That's what's going to do. And you know what? This show was so gosh damn good.
Yeah.
We're just going to go line by line. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, let's just go. Yeah.
Let's go right now. So we're going to start off with the opener. Gunther comes out, and Ludwig Kaiser's back.
Yes. Happy to see Kaiser is back from the rib injury. Love that. I love how he introduced the Ring General. It's like I was like, yeah, baby. Love that he introduced him as the new World Heavyweight Champion. And then the awesomeness started right away with, as soon as Randy Orton was like, oh, they're going there. As like I was like, Randy's gonna want the rematch from King of the Ring, and as soon as he said that he wanted to do the challenging for the title at Bash of Berlin, I was like, sold. Also,
yes. As soon as Gunther goes,
now they're gonna have to do some explaining how Randy's on SmackDown. It's like
they kind of did. So
they kind of did
on a tweet. If you're on Twitter, you really don't know, but they did, like, saying that they showed a picture of Aldis and Adam Pearce from like one of the other shows, and basically saying that Pearce and Aldis have come into an agreement on some mix-ups or something of that nature. But that's all it was. There has been yet to any explanation or anything like that.
Plus Triple H saying that Randy deserved a rematch. That's kind of enough of a justification to be able to blur the lines despite the brand split.
You get Randy Orton, we get Jey Uso and Sami Zayn because we need the War Games.
If there's going to be a trade, but then you lose Cody versus Randy feud.
Again, I'm not. So the draft is the most dumb thing, but I also understand why they do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk bad stuff.
Yeah, no.
So go ahead.
I'm excited for this. People were hoping for a rematch because their match at King of the Ring was awesome. Mm-hmm. Despite the slightly botched finish, but I'm glad that they used that as a storyline thing to justify this rematch, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited because I was thinking, like, I don't know, is Bash of Berlin going to be a show that I'm going to be excited about? Well, I'm definitely excited to see Gunther versus Randy Orton too. Randy's not going to win the title, of course, but it's going to be a hell of a fucking match.
And they're advertising AJ Styles is going to be back tomorrow night too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Besides Roman, AJ's coming back too finally.
Which I don't know what they're going to
do.
So
they're loading up SmackDown.
They're loading up SmackDown. So but yes, with this segment, you
already hit a home run.
Yeah, you already hit a home run because not only Gunther came out, cut a solid promo, and basically kind of hinted of Randy Orton because he was just like, you're not going to surprise me. Nothing's going to come out of. You're not going to come out of nowhere. And surprise me with my opponent, and then he didn't. The music didn't exactly hit, but as soon as it hit, he turned. He just started smiling. He goes, "Good." You had that good. It's Randy.
And I love that fun exchange where it's like, he's like, "I told you, nothing catch me off guard." It's like, and Randy's like, "I don't want you to be off guard.
I want you to see it coming.
I want you to see it coming." It's like
he pats him on and just goes off, and that's it. That's all you had to do, because you established Gunther as a legitimate champion, and then you put him up with one of the top tier guys who already had a reason for why they are in the match. That
Gunther, even though Gunther's a heel, he's like, you know what? You deserve a rematch.
Although
that finish bothered me a little bit too. I don't mind giving you a rematch because I know I can beat you.
Also, Randy, Austria is a country. It's not a part of Germany.
It's not.
Despite what some things happened back in the 1930s and 40s.
It's not his home country.
It's not his home country.
Austria. It's not Germany.
But, whatever.
Whatever.
But, it's semantics at this point. But yeah, he's Austrian. He's not German.
He's still going to be treated like
But it's Bash of Berlin, so I think he's kind of alluding to that.
Yeah. I
think that's what it is. Because, they are hyping Bash Berlin being Gunther's homecoming, even though he's technically Austrian.
Yes.
With it. But already, just so the match,
boom,
boom, bang, boom. And then and I loved how Randy even said, he goes, look, the ref missed it, but that's his call. I have to live with that. Meaning that they can't just go back and do it. They're going to have a rematch because of the ref barge.
Yeah, there's respect between the two of them, but they're both like, I think I can beat you. It's like Randy's like, no, I know I can beat you, and Gunther's like, I know I can beat you.
Because he was like, you technically, as soon as his music out, I was like, and so someone had like a meme of it.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, they're gonna do the rematch. They're gonna do the rematch.
Yeah, and other than Will Ospreay of this past year, Gunther and Will Ospreay are probably the most consistent workers. At this point.
Gunther isn't capable of having a bad match.
No, I don't think so. Okay, so then this leads into Sheamus versus Kaiser, which their mid card for Raw is the most meaty, slappy, mid card.
Braun's got
and I'm here for
points lined up for him. The future's not even funny.
And Kaiser is so good, and the whole Sheamus and Pete Dunne and all that stuff. Even though, again,
I really wish that they would air the promo he cut on NXT where he explained that Butch bullshit pissed me off. And it's like, yes, that's what we've been saying. None of us say, all of us who love the Bruiserweight, we hated that he was called Butch. And I'm glad that they're using it in the storyline to say, he goes, I hated being called Butch. It's like.
And this match was great. I didn't like how the fact that literally Pete Dunne came out to screw Sheamus, and then Sheamus got over on both of them, especially with Ludwig Kaiser coming back. But it's fine. I don't think anything's lost for Ludwig Kaiser, and I'm expecting Ludwig Kaiser to be an Intercontinental Champion within the year, probably, or within.
I won't be surprised if Sheamus is going to be the first one to try to get a crack at Braun first. Because it's like he said many times, the Intercontinental title is the only title that he in WWE he has not won in his career.
And Braun and Sheamus
wants that.
Braun and Sheamus going to be great with that. But solid match. It's great there. Yeah. Okay. The next one is the Damian Priest segment. So I love the fact that as soon as they said all rise, and he was like, bullshit, I'm not doing anything. I am going straight to the ring. Finn, get your ass out here. And when that pop hit, I'm like, there he is. Like, not to quote Uncle Howdy, but like there you are.
Babyface turn work. It's
and
like
as soon as he walked out and he's pacing and calling out Finn, I'm like, there's that aura.
Yeah,
we knew you.
And
had.
I also love he goes. You look at. I'm not even mad that you cost me the title because I can eventually win that title back again. It's like it's the fact that you stabbed me in the back when it's like I thought you were like my like family. You stabbed me in the back, you asshole. It's like I'm gonna destroy you now. And then Finn comes on the screen and cuts an awesome promo explaining why he betrayed Priest. Being like, no, you brought this on yourself. You're the one who betrayed the Judgment Day. He goes, remember it was supposed to be all equals, no leader? That all changed when you became champion.
It's true.
And also, Rhea was doing the same thing as well, throwing her weight around, acting like she was the leader too, while she was champion as well.
And they even said that too to Damian. Remember, they used to rib Damian when she was just the champion before he got to be the champion. When he was still senior in the bank and losing and stuff.
So that's a perfect justification for why from Finn why they turned on both Rhea and Priest and kicked them out.
And then that unveiling, because now I will say I understood why, because he had to go full babyface and say, well, I got a bigger family now because the fans are now behind him. And I understand it's a cheap pop. That was kind of corny to me. It's just a little nugget. Okay, just a little.
I thought it was fine. The fans,
I thought it was fine. And as long as you got the reaction that you wanted from the fans, was fine.
Yeah, I like the reveal where he's like, "This is Judgment Day 3.0," because Rhea, Damian, and Finn were Judgment Day 2.0 after they kicked Edge out.
Right.
And turned on.
And then they added Dom.
Yeah, this is Judgment Day version 3.0.
Well, is it Judgment Day? Is Judgment within the 2.5 happened when R-Truth joined, right? So that was a cool little thing.
And I also love that why Jay was like, he goes, I totally don't. It's like you never even wanted me in the Judgment in the first place. Of course, I'm going to side with Finn over you, asshole.
Right, exactly. Like everything had justification.
Yeah,
and a
the
reason.
Justifications made perfect sense, and it was awesome that he called back to when he lost the world title match to Seth last year, and what Damian told him was the seed that started the eventual turn.
Right.
It's like he goes, "You told me to man up." I was like, "Oh."
Right. And I like
that was fantastic.
Also, shout out to Carlito's new merch with the apple. I don't know if you noticed that on his shirt. He has like the apple with the Judgment Day, like
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
cool.
go back and watch it. The like in the little priest looking, eat with the wings and stuff like that. The typical Judgment Day cloak person.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this apple with his Carlito thing with it. So Carlito's still just there. It's just whatever.
It's like another great segment.
Another great segment.
I'm like, wow, this show is cooking tonight. It's like it's like then it got even better.
Right, and then Lyra. I'm a little bit worried about Lyra because she debuted. Now I'm not worried, but I am worried because she's so good in the ring.
I'm not worried. I understood why the interference happened. It's like, I mean, she technically won the match. She won by DQ, so it's not that terrible. It's just that I just hope she doesn't get lost in this whole women's stable feud stuff going on here. Because, like I said, it's like Aaron and Giff both said in the chat. It's like that. It's like I know what they're trying to do with Team Bland sauce. It's like they're bland. It's like they don't have a cool faction name like Damage Control does. It's like I'm not buying into them. I don't buy them as a friend. I know that at least they're trying. I give them points for trying, but right now it's not working for me.
Is there anyone?
It's not working for me, dog.
Is there anyone that could just pull some type of promos out of these women? Because there's no personality. Yeah. It's the same. It's bland. It's just you don't. Zoe has
and now
aura.
Damage Control somehow is de facto baby faces now. It's like when they didn't really have a baby face turn because
that's such an AEW thing. It's like they're faces now. Like what happened?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, so I just
that was the only really questionable segment of the whole show. I will say though, the Sonya Io match later in the show was really good.
Yeah.
For the time they had, I thought it really cut.
Spoiler alert: Io's guy's really good at wrestling.
She is. That's why I love her.
Anyway, all right, let's go back on track here with CM Punk.
Oh God,
Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and
I knew this was going to be good, but then where it ended,
right?
Nobody saw coming.
But yeah, CM Punk comes out and he starts doing and I was like, oh no, we're doing which Giff kind of pointed out too, just like he's kind of cutting the same dumb promo. You just lost. He's like, well, I'm happy because I'm here in Baltimore, and I'm like, come on, buddy. But then he was saying I should take a loss, but he was just happy that he could still do it. So I'm like, okay, that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
okay.
and they showed that in the behind the scenes vlog too, where he's like he was like happy emotional after the match. That
these are happy tears, type of thing. And then I popped me so hard when Seth Rollins music hits. He goes, God damn it!
Yeah, I know. I love Punk's like son of a bitch. As soon as
son of a.
And I love it. It's like I love anytime someone quotes one of my favorite movies. I love that Punk invoked Tombstone by saying, it's like, I may not be dressed like a cowboy, but I'll be your Huckleberry. Right. Let's go.
I'll be your Huckleberry. Let's go.
I love a good Tombstone reference.
And then Drew comes out, shows the wristband, and we're off and running for bad blood. And then Seth.
And then the thing nobody saw coming that turned into awesomeness. Bronson Reed comes out of nowhere and murders Seth. Murders him. It's like I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I didn't really expect it. And then as soon as he kept doing, after he did the third tonight, and then he started, I was like, holy cow, he is sending Seth into the ambulance here. It's like,
and the fact that Bronson Reed, like, I took it as a nothing burger when that segment with him and Pierce and being like,
right.
All right, fine. If you're not going to do anything, I'm going to take matters in my own hands. They're like, all right, whatever. He's probably going to go. He's going to go attack Karrion Kross or some shit. No.
After the third tsunami, the fans.
One more time.
The fans were chanting one more time, and he's the heel. That shows you how much they were into that. Talk about reheating someone who deserves to be reheated in one fucking segment. Holy shit, this was awesome.
Because the dude can talk.
I've been a fan of this guy for a long time. Yeah. It's like I've been wondering where he's gonna go. He's been kind of stuck in the mid card for a while. This is exactly what he needs. And what happens is when Seth comes back and they have a match, he needs to win that first match. He cannot lose the first match. Yeah. Have him beat Seth. Give him credibility.
Do not Shinsuke him like he did with Cody Rhodes.
No, you can't. You can't.
No. So amazing stuff there.
Yeah.
And then Adam Pearce. I don't know if you noticed it, but like when Adam Pearce saw CM Punk and he had chairs, "Where's Drew? I just want to talk to him." Like he kept doing. Like,
I love his head. I love
talk to him.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah. Every time I just want to talk to him. It's just like he's gone. He's out of here. The next one is the New Day versus AOP, which going into this, I'm like, I don't care. I have nothing to care about. And then there he was. The guy we were like, oh, shit, he's a guy? Odyssey Jones appeared. And, oh, my God, Odyssey Jones.
Well, I saw him back during the 2.0 era, and I was like, he's definitely got some potential. He's really, it's like he's got more potential as a big man than Omos does. And it's like, that's not nothing against Omos personally. It's just that it's like, and then when he picked up both members of AOP and sidewalk slammed them like they were like nothing. That's like, I was like, ho. Yeah. It's like the crowd went nuts for that.
And plus I liked how Xavier was like, what's
Woods' reaction to Odyssey coming out to help them is now I'm like, okay, now I'm interested because he didn't look very happy.
No. And he was just, and the backstage segment, he was like, yeah, when I was on the shelf, I met him in the performance center and he didn't have anything else to do. And I was like, come on, help us out. And then Tozawa and all them.
Because Woods can see this as him trying to replace Big E.
Right. Exactly. And then Tozawa, and then American Alpha now. Like at this point, American Alpha.
I was like, oh, that's so close to American Alpha. I love it.
Yeah, but American Alpha, and then Tozawa started doing, and then like so, Xavier just kind of, but he was a little just like, what's going on? Why are you overstepping me? So it's still doing that. Mm-hmm. So I like that a lot. Awesome Truth, they had their run.
Yeah, the breakup is about to happen.
I mean that's just they did what they needed to do. R-Truth got his tag team championships.
Yeah, R-Truth.
These two guys are so made. It doesn't matter what they do. They're going to be in WWE forever. They're just too entertaining. They're too professional. They're too great at what they do. They just don't need to be together anymore. It's okay. Yeah. And then glad to see A-Town Down under. Remember that whole a split they were trying to do, and then there's not anymore.
It's like I don't know if that's going to happen. It's like they were teasing that for a while, especially after they lost the tag titles to DIY. So I don't know where that's going.
All right, and then Damian Priest, JD McDonough. JD, you officially take the crown over Dolph Ziggler of being the best seller in the company.
Oh, I knew that after he took the RKO off the top of the cage from Randy at War Games last year.
Yeah. And this, I was surprised how much offense they gave JD in this. I thought it was going to come out.
Before Finn and them did the DQ attack.
But
and made perfect sense. Rhea came out to help. God, it's like the fans are like so amped for the Terror Twins as people are calling them, and I like that nickname.
And have you noticed that the pop that she got when This Is My Brutality hit was kind of like the glass shattering esque? Yeah. Or like, if you smell like that pop?
Oh yeah, it's like she has been so for a long time, and now the fans can feel comfortable cheering for her because now she's no longer associated with Dominic, no longer associated with the heel Judgment Day. She's full on babyface, and so they can really cheer her on and not feel like it's like I want to cheer for her, but why is she still with that piece of shit Dominic in the Judgment Day?
Yeah, and this ending was finally when I was like, I like I said, I'll go back to Damian Priest.
And Liv was being helpful. Like Liv saved Finn from Damien in the ring, and then it's like then Rhea tried to kill her, and Dom like saved her.
Right.
Great stuff. And then that headbutt chokeslam combo attack on JD McDonough, and they just laid his ass out. That was awesome.
Yeah, and that chokeslam. That's where I was getting at. That chokeslam JD sold. Well done, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also too, like I said, his promo, Damien's promo when he first came out, I'm like, there you are. And then when at the end of this match where he did that choke slam and just did his whole like kind of Undertaker-esque throat cut pointing, like he's been doing that for a while. But when he did that and the crowd was popping, I'm like, and now all the hard work, everything that Triple H has put behind you, all those little bitty things of booking to make sure that you are a superstar.
Yep.
At the end of that choke slam and them hugging and holding their hand and putting their hands up, Rhea was already there. She was already.
Rhea has been super.
She was already there. Now we have another. Now we have another one. Damon, you have arrived. So you have officially arrived. You are that guy, and I hope you keep.
So them feuding against Judge Day. That's going to be some fun stuff over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and then we have Io versus Sonya, like you alluded to. Io,
good match.
Again, she's really good at wrestling.
She's awesome.
With that, it sucks that Dakota is hurt. I've always been a fan of Dakota. I know she's and people are indifferent about it, but I hope it's not serious. And then we get the ending match with the real in-ring debut of the Wyatt Six. And
I was amazed how into the Wyatts the crowd was. They were chanting "We want Rowan." They were chanting they wanted Eric Rowan in the match. That says something. It's like,
and an American made, which I like. I love that name. I love that name.
I love that he's like, you guys can keep using Alpha Academy. That's dead to me. It's like, it's like he's starting something new. I like that.
Yeah. And I know, and I know Gift's in there. He's probably still not sold on him. Okay, and that's okay. This type of stuff isn't for everyone. Did I get a little emotional when the shatter finally hit and they're all walking out and they grab the chair? And then did I get a little emotional when I looked over at Uncle Howdy sitting there rocking, and you realize that Rowan put Brody Lee's Bludgeon Brother mask sit on one of the side of the chairs? Yeah. And did I really? The shot to Brody. He did the yeah stuff, and then Gacy doing the kind of Bray-esque with the turnbuckle. So like a lot of homage.
He was doing that NXT, so it's like he was doing that NXT. It was definitely a nod to Bray. Gacy's been doing that for a while.
I just love the fact that they're booking these guys like actual wrestlers.
Yes.
And a family.
No supernatural weird bullshit stuff. There's spookiness, but they're doing that for mind game purposes.
Mind game purposes. Yes. So doing the mind game intimidation, not just the I'm going to make a lightning strike out of nowhere.
There's no supernatural bullshit.
Yeah, not wizard stuff. Yes, dry ice here and there, but nothing crazy. And then
no bleeding from the head, other weird shit.
And I love the fact that they're calling them by Eric Rowan and Dexter Loomis.
They're going by their real names.
And I mean, people even can't like their alter egos.
Dexter Loomis, look completely fucking.
Oh my god, Dexter Loomis was he was my MVP of this match. And then Gacy with that, did he do that handstand off the ropes? Double clothesline. Did he was doing that in it? I haven't watched any of Gacy's stuff.
That's one of his signature moves.
Okay, I didn't realize Gacy was that dexterity.
He is.
His dexterity is that good. How limber he is and how smooth he is in the ring.
I never had a problem. His in-ring work is fine. The problem I had was how his character was presented back in NXT for a while.
Yeah,
I didn't like the Schism stuff. I didn't like when after Schism ended and he went into
his Dijak feud was fun.
Yes. When he went just into crazy babyface mode, like Mankind kind of crazy, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm liking what he's doing. And that feud with Dijak was awesome.
Yeah. And this match was great, and it's established the Wyatts as a threat. It established them as solid in ring.
Yep.
It was a well produced match great ending to the show. Just. You had surprises. You had great storyline progression.
Fantastic storyline progression. Big surprise with the Bronson Reed stuff. setting stuff up for Bash and Berlin. We got one match already in the can. Randy Gunther. Just outside of just some of the stuff with in the women's division that's not related to Rhea and Liv. Still having some iffy stuff. This was overall a fantastic, one of the best episodes of Raw in quite a long time. Definitely one of the best of the year.
So well done, Triple H.
Yep. You were cooking, man.
You were cooking. Ooh, you were cooking. All right, so let's move on to AEW Dynamite.
All right, here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Show opened with MJF taking on Kyle Fletcher in a non-title match. Good stuff. MJF ended up picking up the victory. He went to there was a spot where Don Callis gave Kyle Fletcher the screwdriver, tried to give him the edge to win, but Kyle Fletcher chose not to use it. And that ended up costing him the match. MJF continued to attack him after the match. Hit him with the diamond ring, busted him open. MJF tried to hit him with the Tiger Driver 91, but Will Ospreay was able to come out to make the save. It was shown that his locker room had been barricaded, trying to prevent him from making the save, but he was able to escape. Mariah Ray took on Aviva Van. Easy enough victory for Mariah May. Tony Storm once again appeared to attack and the two had to be separated by security. Jack Perry, Darby Allin cut dueling promos against each other, hyping their match for the TNT title at Wembley Stadium and All In. Brian Keith of the Learning Tree took on Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata picked up the victory. Jericho, Big Bill, and them attacked him afterwards, tried to lay him out. Hook made the save and attacked Jericho, and the faces stood tall. Due to travel issues going on, Orange Cassidy didn't have the rest of the conglomeration, but he said he found some local people who were willing to take their places as partners. And there was, of course, FDR. Orange Cassidy and FDR took on Roosh, the Beast Mortis, and Roderick Strong. Faces picked up the victory thanks to the Sham Machine on Roosh. After the match, Declan came out to confront FDR, and the two got into a brawl and had to be separated by security. Christian Cage cut a promo announcing that on Collision this week, the Bangman Gang would face the House of Black. The winner would get a trios title match against the Patriarchy at All In, and Christian Cage will be the special guest referee for the number one contender match. Then we had Camille do a handicap match against two enhancement talent / jobbers, easily squashing them in 2 minutes. Mercedes cut a promo bragging about how Brett wasn't here. Tony Schiavone then announced that Tony Khan had overridden the Young Bucks' suspension of Britt. She appeared via satellite and cut a promo on Monet to respond. Then we had the main event, Bryan Danielson taking on Jeff Jarrett. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat legend joined the commentary team for the match. Good stuff here. Finally, Bryan Danielson picked up the victory. After the match, Steamboat and Jarrett's friends got in the ring and respect was all shown around. Then all of a sudden, Swerve came out to confront Danielson. He said that he won't hesitate to deliver the kill shot on Bryan Danielson in his career. Swerve decided that he wants to warm next week, and he challenged Wheeler Yuta, who was there with Danielson, to a match next week. And Bryan Danielson and Swerve had a stare down to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
Okay. Give me a second here.
Yeah.
So I know you have Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. One of the top 5 greatest in-ring wrestlers.
No
ever.
question. He's a GOAT.
Why does Tony keep having the best match on the show, the first match on the show? My theory is because when the Big Bang Theory is leading into the show,
you want to keep people hooked.
You want to keep people. This was easily, by far, the best match on the show. And obviously, I'm a big Kyle Fletcher guy.
Yes.
And he proves that he's still there. But that's my only at least that's my 2 cents before I let you go on your.
Yeah, because I got a lot to say about the show. Okay. Yes, the opening match was great. Love that. The main event was actually good.
was fine.
It was fine. What was in between the rest of the show? Meh. I'm sorry. Look, I don't know if it's because of the real reasons why she was suspended with the whole thing between what happened between her and MJF apparently, or something. But Britt phoned that fucking promo in over by satellite. That was a fucking phone in. There was no emotion, no passion, no nothing. It was just like, okay, yeah, we're gonna beat you. Where's the fucking passion? It's like she was like sleep. It was like she was sleepwalking through that promo. Pissed me off.
She was probably pissed off.
And also, maybe you shouldn't put Mercedes in heels to make her almost the same height as Camille if you want to make Camille look like the Diesel.
And plus, Mercedes is still okay on the mic at best,
yeah.
So that's not going to work there.
The learning tree stuff and it's don't care not much. It's like
the only person I care about is Brian Keith because he's trying.
He's trying. Brian Keith's trying. I do like some of his clips. It's like he's a good wrestler, but it's like I'm not really invested in that. It's like Young Bucks nowhere to be found. No Okada.
It's great as I would love to have the Orange Cassidy and FTR versus Roosh, Roderick Strong, and the Beast Mortis. The thing is this is an indie booking.
Yeah,
I don't want an indie booking on an AEW promotion.
And I don't understand why. I don't understand. The Acclaim should be focused on winning the tag titles from the Young Bucks because they're going to get a title shot at All In. Why are they also trying to feud with FTR out of nowhere?
Just overbooking, overthinking. Because Tony's trying to get ratings on Collision, which is a dying show. So he's trying to, let's have them so they can have FTR because FTR is typically on Collision. So that's why he's doing it instead of either have a brand split, and that's kind of where the whole and he's having the same issue that I'm having with certain superstars.
Yes, Mortis still rules. He's awesome.
Yes.
I'm not, there's no doubt about that. It's just that it's just the way the thing was set up. It's like, and yes, this totally feels like, especially with
I miss
Camille,
her so much at this point.
I really hope Jamie Hayter comes back to back Britt up because she kind of needs that with Camille in the picture at this point.
Yeah, they do.
Does.
I understand. I'm just wanting them to be a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than look, hey, let's go watch the show because it's a real good matches. Like, I want storyline reasons.
As good as the main event was, you're not going to have people stay for a main event when Jeff Jarrett's all. I'm sorry, it's nothing against Jeff Jarrett. He's a veteran. He's still really good in the ring. But no, that's not gonna get people to tune into a main event. It's like it's Brand, even though it's against Bryan Danielson. So it's like I think it would be better if MJF Kyle Fletcher was the main event. To be honest, man.
That's what I said. I'm like
that whole stuff was the best part of the show for me.
Yeah. Although I will say
everything else was either okay or
this even though she faced a nobody, this still kept the emphasis on the fact that you have
Nigel and Tony really are really good together on commentary. I really enjoy their work on Collision when I do watch it.
Don't remind me that we're going to lose Cole and McAfee here shortly. They're so fun.
Yeah, we forgot to talk about that. Joe Tessitore was at SummerSlam. They announced
he's going to be great. I know.
It's only going to be temporary though because it's like Tessitore is going to work on Raw apparently with Corey Graves, while Cole works with Wade Barrett on SmackDown, while McAfee is
same thing we did last year.
Doing College Game Day.
Yeah,
and then once college football season is over, Cole and McAfee will take back the announcing duties on Raw when it's on Netflix.
Yeah, just Cole and
then Tessitore is going to move to SmackDown with Corey and Wade.
Yeah, I haven't seen this great of chemistry with Cole and Cole and McAfee since the JR King days.
Yeah, they have that kind of chemistry.
Yeah, with that. But
this was very disappointing. This was like a very missable episode outside of the MJF, Kyle Fletcher, and Ospreay stuff.
I will say though, when Mariah May comes out, I'm like, oh,
yep. I forgot about that. That was all right.
Her entrance is all I'm clear about.
The same. They got to do something a little different. It's like this is like the third week in a row where she's like tried to attack Mariah May. It's like you gotta change things up here, because I'm invested in that match, but it's like you're getting a little repetitive with what's going on lately. You got to change things up here.
Yeah, no, the highlight was definitely the Fletcher MJF stuff, easily.
Yeah,
and that the whole MJF Will Ospreay stuff. So
yeah,
but yeah, unfortunately, yes, it is a very missable show. Kind of same leading into it. Let's move on to NXT, which I kind of felt was kind of the same way as this show went,
except for the ending.
No, I'm saying well, yeah. Why'd you have to bring that up so too soon, man? Damn it.
Now, here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of NXT, night 2 of the 2-part Great American Bash TV special. Hanky Tank was still hosting and having a cookout in the back with other wrestlers that had skits during the show. We opened with Trick Williams taking on Pete Dunne. Good match, and surprisingly, Pete Dunne picked up the victory at the bitter end, clean, to beat Trick. Eddie Thorpe Lex King got into an argument at the barbecue. Mr. Stone and Stevie Turner got into a chicken wing eating contest. Then we had the women's North American title match as Klein Jordan defended against Tatum Paxley. Klein picked up the victory. Winnie Chu showed up after the match and attacked Tatum Paxley. Ren Sinclair still tried to get into the North Dakota Catch Crew. And Tony D'Angelo came up, and this led to Tony offering a deal for Ren Sinclair's match. If she won her match tonight, not only would she get in the North Dakota Catch Crew finally, but also Charlie Dempsey would get a Heritage Cup match against Tony next week. Then we had the NXT title match. Ethan Page defending against Oro Mensah. Good stuff here. Mensah tried, but Ethan Page picked up the victory to retain the championship. Rascals talked about getting the tag titles back at promo backstage. Some of the women, like Soul Rook and Jada Parker and Lil Vice, talked about trying to get a shot at Roxanne in the women's championship. One of the new talent started to hit at them, and they triple power bombed him through one of the tables. Then we had the very hot and popular Joe Hendry from TNA taking on Joe Coffey. Great reaction for Hendry. He did a little Eddie Guerrero spot to get rid of the rest of Gals at ringside, and he finished off Joe Coffey with a standing ovation, picking the victory. After the match, said that Joe Hendry said he's enjoying his time here. He'll be back next week, and you don't even have to say his name to make him appear. Chase U got a new classroom thanks to Duke Hudson. And Duke also announced that he got him and Andre Chase shot at the tag titles next week. Duke Hudson was very bummed that it wasn't him and Andre that were getting the title shot. Sean Spears offered to mentor Brooks Jensen, and he seems to be receptive. Roxanne Perez came along to diss some of the women. The OC... the Good Brothers dissed the whole barbecue, and that led to a fight between them and Walker and Ledger. Ren Sinclair took on Kendall Gray. Ren Sinclair picked up the victory, finally earning herself a spot in the Dakota Catch Crew and giving Charlie Dempsey a shot at the Heritage Cup next week. Another video about Javon Evans talking about how Matt Bloom was a big influence on him when he met him as young, and now it's awesome that he's helping him train to be a WWE wrestler. Obafemi announced that he'll be defending the North American title against someone next week. He doesn't know who. While Tony D'Angelo bragged that he's going to beat Charlie Dempsey again to keep the Heritage Cup. Then we got to the main event. NXT Tag Team title match as Axiom and Nathan Frazier defended against MSK, Wes Lee, and Zachary Wentz. Great match. The champs surprisingly retained despite a little miscommunication here and there, still teasing that breakup between them. They showed respect after the match. Miguel and Wentz hugged Wes Lee, consoling him. And then the shocker happened. Out of nowhere, Wes Lee super kicked Miguel in the face, then kicked Zachary Wentz in the balls to do a full-blown heel turn, laid out his friends saying that they left him, wrecked them, put Miguel through the barricade by ringside, and smashed Wentz against the steel steps, close out the show in a shocking fashion. So that's all that happened on night 2 of the Great American Bash on this week's episode of NXT.
If she didn't have the title, I'd be boycotting this promotion. You finally give me the Rascals after 4 years, and we get like 2 matches. I understand why this.
There was some matches. They did some stuff on TNA as well.
I know. I'm just saying they were at Slammiversary and they've done some stuff there. But I understand, and I understand why they broke them up, and that's actually a better storyline to do. And plus, it's like, all right, Wes, let's see you as a heel.
Yeah, this was. I will say this surprised me, but it's a bold move that I'm like, okay,
because
I'm
it's all right.
See what's gonna go.
Let's see what you can do, Wes.
Yeah,
because he's always been a babyface.
He's been a very popular babyface. He had a great run as North American champion. The fans love him. So, like, you could hear it. The fans were shocked by this heel turn. They like nobody saw this coming. This was one of those great, like, out of nowhere heel turns that you're like, oh damn. But as soon as he started saying you left me, I was like, oh, that's why.
Yeah,
that's why.
No.
Now, was he playing this all along, or was just losing to Axiom Nathan Frazier the final straw that made him snap? We'll find out.
They're just so freaking good. All three, the trio.
And he just destroyed them.
Yeah.
It's like when he put Miguel through the barricade. I was like, holy crap! It's like the fan, and it worked because the fans were chanting asshole at him. So
I just felt so, and it hurt me because like Miguel's sitting there just so heartbroken. Like he was just like, why?
He's like, what are you doing? That's your brother. And then he took him to Dick Kick City. I was like, oh my god.
Right. It was just, oh my god. Like, it was like the Shield breaking.
This saved the show for me because this, to be honest, this was
Hank and Tank stuff sucked.
Did not work for me. Most of those segments, the only stuff of the backstage segments I liked was Roxanne dissing the women.
Yeah.
And the women powerbombing that jerk through the table.
Right.
Other than that,
it was just so overproduced.
It was
dumb. It was horribly acted.
They're trying to get Hank and Tank over. I just don't care. They just don't. I just don't care about them.
Don't care. I
hope the Good Brothers kill him. To be honest.
Right. Hold on. Joe Hendry.
Oh,
gotta check.
He was the other saving grace of the show.
That match was fun. He's so fun in the ring.
I love that he did the Eddie Guerrero thing and it worked.
Yeah. Like he's
not going anywhere. I love that he goes, I'll be back next week and you won't even have to say my name. Yeah. I was like, yeah, baby, let's go.
Yeah. I don't know do we know exactly what the deal is with TNA and WWE?
No, it's like we'll see. Wolfgang showed up on TNA tonight to try to get payback on Hendry.
Well, I want this so effing bad.
This is what the rumor is that Josh Alexander is going to show up as part of the crossover.
Obi and
Josh Alexander versus Obafemi would kick ass.
And I love that's the one thing I did like about that as far as the backstage segments go. Is just Oba just walking through, not giving a shit, and everyone else just like not messing with him.
Give me that match.
Now. They're trying with Evans. It's his mic work is just.
It's getting there. It's all right.
Getting there.
I'm glad that they're giving him these vignettes to get the fans to know.
Because they know what his in-ring work is.
Yeah, his second work is amazing.
His in-ring work is amazing. So
yeah, and I was. This was also surprised me.
Hey, went over clean on Trick.
You did. I don't mind that. It's not going to hurt Trick. It's good for him, especially because he's feuding with Sheamus now. It's better for Pete because they're reestablishing Pete as a legit dude. Yeah,
as the bruiserweight.
Trick is still young. It's like he can win the rematch. That's fine. It's like this is a learning experience where Trick is learning to level up before he can get back into the title picture, and that's fine. And I like that because he's still over. Doesn't hurt him. I was fine with that. But like a lot of the backstage segments, still their matches were like, I'm glad that Ren Sinclair is finally in the No Credit Catch Crew, so now that can go somewhere. I'm thinking Charlie Dempsey's taking that Heritage Cup back next week because Tony D'Angelo is like, he's not beating me next week, and they're like, you shouldn't be saying that. That's kind of just asking for your own doom.
I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't.
The heel turn?
No, the Heritage Cup and the rules of it.
Okay.
I thought you were still hurting over Wesley.
Oh yeah, I'm still. It still hurts. I just go back and watch what was before.
Okay, now they're going somewhere with the Chase U where it's like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but it's like Rich Holland is trying to take Duke Hudson's place and Chase U.
Mm-hmm.
And so this could lead somewhere,
right? Because Duke needs to go to the main roster. There's really nothing else other than him getting a North American run.
Mm-hmm.
He would be an NXT champion for all I know. But Duke. Why is Duke still? I just feel like you can unleash him by himself and do his thing. He does not need to be in Chase U. Duke. I just feel like I don't know if his mic work sucks, his in-ring work needs some help or something like that. They're hiding. Why are they hiding Duke Hudson? Because I feel like Duke Hudson has something there where he can just be by himself and just do whatever he wants.
Okay. All right. So let the speculation begin. Who is gonna come after Roxanne for No Mercy? Because it's like they haven't done anything yet because she just beat Thea. That match last week was fucking awesome. Night one of Great American Bash was the better of the two nights, for sure, hands down.
No bias. No bias.
No bias aside. Yeah.
I mean, I had Joe. I mean, if you want devil's advocate, I have my Rascals and Joe Hendry.
The other night was not a total loss. I mean, like, Trick and Pete Dunne was good. Joe Hendry was good. The main event was awesome. The heel turn, shocking.
Yeah, did what he's supposed to do
in a good way. But there's a lot of stuff that was just like, eh.
I'm glad you buried Tatum Paxley when you try to make her a character. Good job.
Oh, I felt bad for her. It's like, and when did you already turn on her?
Right. I'm like, Jesus
I thought they were
Christ.
become friends, and it's like she turned on her.
Did she show up late a couple of times for class, and so that's why you're just like burying her?
I guess maybe she was just using her to get to Kalani. I don't know. We'll find.
I don't know.
She doesn't speak. I don't know. So, I think it's Wendy Chu versus Kalani will probably happen at No Mercy.
Yeah, probably what happens there. But
so who's gonna who's ready to challenge record? Is it gonna be Stephanie Vekera or is it gonna be somebody else?
Well, I think it's Stephanie at this point for the fact that they're going back and forth. Because
I think it's her arrival. It has to be right around the corner with that.
Because you've not technically seen Julia in a WWE ring.
No,
wrestle. You've seen Stephanie. It was a house show, but you've seen Stephanie
the footage
wrestle
out there, and they made sure they've shown that footage on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They literally showed on NXT. They had the women's in the women's division watching her match against Isla Dawn in Mexico. So it's like I think it's definitely I think it's going to be Stephanie, and then I think they're gonna Julie's going to appear at No Mercy.
Yeah, I really just want to see. Honestly, it's going to be Stephanie. It's going to be Julia. And that's fine. And I don't want them to ruin Stephanie.
I can't wait for these all three of these women to throw down. I'm so excited. That's why I can't wait for Stephanie to show up because it's like game on, baby, let's go.
If I don't know. I just want to see Thea and Roxanne do it one more time. Just
I would love to see Thea and Roxanne go one more time. It's like
that match kicked ass, dude.
It did.
And Thea just keeps
impressing me. I know Giff would love to see. It's like I would really love to see if not the NXT Women's Championship, give Thea the Women's North American Championship. It's
okay. So you asked me who's Roxanne going to go. Let me ask you, who goes for Ethan?
That's a good question.
Do they immediately put Joe Hendry?
This little mini feud with Pete Dunne going on, so he's not going after. He's not back in Ethan's orbit yet. The Ormetsa thing is done with. He beat him. It's over.
Right.
So the question is, who's his next challenger? That is a very good question.
Is it Javon? No, because Javon technically won the thing, but he didn't, and he still got his match. So no.
I can see them throwing Javon in there,
but that doesn't help Javon.
No.
To me, what they would probably do.
I thought it was going to be Wes Lee before he turned heel. So it's
right. So what they'll probably I just had in my head of what they were going to do with Ego. I'm
trying to think of what other babyface would be ready to go against him right now.
Joe, they would probably maybe do Joe before the TNA deal's up.
Yep, mic drop.
Thea's a star. Thea's a star. I don't care if it's
only
on.
20 years old and she's already that good.
Just her facial expressions, her in-ring work, she's got it.
That's why I'm so high on both Thea and Roxanne, because it's like they just barely turned 20 and they're already this good. Just wait until a couple more years when they're mid-20s. It's like it's like good glory.
I don't think that would be great if they call it back, because him and Josh used to tag together.
That him being, I think it's going to be a TNA person.
I think it's Joe Hendry.
It could be Joe Hendry.
I think it's Joe Hendry. But Josh would make, actually, like, if you really want to get into that crazy storyline stuff and really connect the TNA.
Oh, yeah, because they have history.
Because they have history. They were tag team champs and stuff before Ethan left. It was him and Josh.
Yeah, so I think those are some good ideas.
They were like the North. I think that was the name of their tag team. It was like the North. GIF, if you is it the North? Someone help me out there. I think it was the North.
You probably would know. I don't know
because I think they're both Canadians, so they just called themselves the North instead of
that would make sense.
Team Canada, because they already had Team Canada way back when.
Oh yeah, Team Canada is an old thing, man.
Yeah, with Dean Moore and Bobby Roode and Eric Young and all that stuff. That's that old school. That's like 2005. Well, then you had
WCW Team Canada with Lance Storm. You know, it's like...
So I think they were just like the North. Anyway. But yeah, I would say Joe Hendry would probably be, because they're never going to put the title on them.
But it would
Battle of the North. Yeah,
it will get attention for sure.
Because like what else? If you're going to keep Joe Hendry around, which we don't know the extent of it, but I mean the Rascals and
who's he gonna? The thing with Gals is definitely over with. What's he gonna do now? It's like you got to put him in some kind of like title match, and so throwing him against Ethan Page. That's a nice.
Him and Ethan make more sense as far as a match and the stuff that I want to see, rather than Joe versus Oba. I'd rather see Josh versus Oba,
right,
than the other way around. So I would put Joe against. So we do a straight up just TNA against our titles.
Yeah,
you know. So let's just do Joe and Ethan, and then because Joe and Ethan will have amazing
because I had a
promos.
feeling that he might get an NXT title match because he didn't win it.
Right.
Because if he's good, so it's like if they put the belt on him, you don't want to have the TNA champion lose to the NXT champion. No, that's not. Okay. That doesn't look good for TNA.
I was right. Good job, Brain. It was the North. Hey, look at me. I pay attention.
Yep. Thanks, Gif.
I think Gif. But yeah, that's my prediction.
I'm just counting the days until Stephanie and Julia show up. It's like they're almost here because it's like Julia's last match for Marigold in Japan. I think it's like the 18th or the 19th in the next. So in the next 2 weeks. So it's like after that, it's like it's only a matter of time before she'll show up on NXT.
Right.
I think No Mercy would be the perfect way to debut her because it's a PLA. It's like have her show up at the end, and it's like to confront Roxanne, and then you get the holy shit reaction. And then you get the reaction in the Performance Center when Stephanie shows up. Can't wait! I'm so excited for the women's division.
I need to do some research on Delta. I need to.
Yeah, I definitely need to see if there's anything online about Delta because I want to check her out. Because if they have signed her as well, I want to see how good she is. Because I heard.
Obviously, Rhea's behind her because she's Australian / New Zealand, something like that.
But yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's like Roxanne, Julia, Stephanie.
Right.
Get to me! Can't wait.
But I think she should beat both of them, and then Cora take the title. That's the best way.
That could happen.
I want the battle of the CM Punk daughters.
If Cora gets CM Punk level of recovery for her ACL, she could be back anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. Yeah, I did see this. They lost like billions of dollars.
I don't think they're losing out on the deal.
No, I think that's a different different branch of what they're dealing with than keeping wrestling. Because if they're losing that much money, wrestling's not the one that's losing them money.
Yeah,
that's why they're trying to keep AEW, because that's the one thing that they know will at least draw.
That's why they're trying to fight to get the NBA rights, but that's a losing battle.
Right now, Charles Barkley did come out and say that he's now fully with TNT, because now TNT's WB's realizing we got to keep what works, what we know brings audiences in. AEW for where their ratings are, probably a lot better than the rest of their shit that they're putting out. Now, bias. This is me being biased because I'm a wrestling fan, so I still tune into AEW and all that other stuff, and it's still a solid wrestling promotion. Now WWE has ramped it up to $1 billion for the past couple of years, especially now. But I just don't see how WB, unless they're just that broke, that they won't make something happen with AEW with that. But anything else before we close out the show, sir?
Nope, that pretty much covers it. Heck of a week. It's like SummerSlam and Raw were excellent. NXT and AEW were okay. The SmackDown was okay. So yeah, up and down this week.
Hey, if we had that SummerSlam and Raw, that still is an amazing week.
Yeah,
excellent week, and I am so. All right, Triple H.
There's still some good. There's still I mean, NXT wasn't a horrible episode, but it was definitely kind of like it was an all right episode, especially compared to the first day of
first night. That first night was great. Great stuff. So, but thank you all so much for joining us.
Yes.
John, Aaron, thank you.
Aaron Turner, thank you for popping in,
saying a couple things. Always appreciate you. We always enjoy watching you over there on the Ring Generals.
The Ring Generals, got used to that.
Yes, and then obviously over in the Fins Talk Network, they also do No Holds Barred over there.
Yep.
With Bobby and all them. So we give shout out to them.
Everybody, Bobby and them.
Yep. We're all there's no forbidden door. We're a screen door of YouTube wrestling channels. Okay.
Yep. We're all in this together.
Yeah. And then GIF, obviously, always a pleasure having you around. One day the Wyatt Six will make you smile. I don't know if it's going to be today, but we'll see. Now that the House of Black is still a thing, I don't think it's ever going to get bigger than that for him. But anyway, I can't speak on behalf of GIF or anything else, but I can say that I thank you all so much for joining us week in, week out, and especially my co-host and my tag team partner in this journey, Justin. I always appreciate you joining in and talking the wrestling that we do. But if anybody else out there who is joining in that wants to also join in on the fun of not just talk wrestling, but anything else, the link below is in our Discord. We over there talking about wrestling all the time. Also, too, if you're thinking about doing any type of show that you think of YouTube-wise or Twitch or anything of that in the internet spaces, you can join us on the patreon.com/RuckusEV, where we can help you mold and figure out and produce and stuff like that to help you launch your stuff and also join in on the fun with us over here. Join us on all the socials. We do all the tweets and stuff. We're still trying to work on Instagram and all that stuff, but hey, we're still having fun doing what we do. Hit the like, subscribe, ring the doorbell. We try to be here every Thursday to bring you at 9 Eastern to bring you all the wrestling that is, was, and will be in the wrestling world. And we thank you all so much. And with that being said, we will see you all next time.